Hi. My 5 o'clock streaming did not really take off because of technical difficulties. So I'm going to make this video and post it. We're talking about cognitive behavioral therapy. And I'm going to go to the psychiatric mental health for nursing, which is Barcalis and Halter. I've been mentioning it. Get the definitions down pat, and then I'm going to read a section from my dissertation, and next time we'll be talking about maybe 10 different kinds of therapies, not deeply, but introduce, and then we can probably do a program on each one. So, Aaron Beck, another follower of Sigmund Freud, originally trained in psychoanalysis, but is regarded as a neo-Freudian. When he attempted to study depression from a psychoanalytic perspective, he became convinced that people with depression generally had stereotypical patterns of negative and self-critical thinking that seemed to distort their ability to think and process information. This is where we get cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It is based on both cognitive psychology and behavioral theory. It is commonly employed, effective, and well-researched therapeutic tool. Beck's method, the basis for CBT, is an active, directive, time-limited, structured approach used to treat a variety of psychiatric disorders: depression, anxiety, phobias, and pain problems. It is based on underlying theoretical principle that how people feel and behave is largely determined by the way they think about the world and their place in it. Their cognitions, verbal or pictorial events in their stream of consciousness, are based on attitudes or assumptions developed from previous experience. These cognitions may be fairly accurate, or they may be distorted. So I'm going to skip one paragraph because it's too complicated, and we'll get back to it when we do other therapies. The paragraph I'm skipping onto is helpful. Rapid, unthinking responses based on schemas are known as automatic thoughts. These responses are particularly intense and frequent in psychiatric disorders such as depression and anxiety. Often, automatic thoughts or cognitive distortions are irrational and lead to false assumptions and misinterpretations. For example, if a person interprets all experiences in terms of whether he or she is competent or adequate, thinking may be dominated by cognitive distortion. Unless I do everything perfectly, I'm a failure. Consequently, the person reacts to situations in terms of adequacy, even when those situations are unrelated to whether he or she is personally competent. Describes common cognitive distortions. All right, now I'm going to go right to my dissertation and where I pick up with CBT. My general topic for my dissertation was collegians with mental illness, helping them to complete a bachelor's in 4 to 6 years. Okay, the interventions and cognitive behavioral therapy. This may be why there are large effects on anxiety. CBT is a therapy that is specifically focused on anxiety. CBT focuses on empathy, the importance of self-image, and supports patients to advocate for their own success. CBT gives worry reduction strategies and focuses on the factors related to anxiety. Anxiety is the most frequent mental health disorder in college students, and that's an important fact to remember. CBT has a large effect on anxiety, making it appropriate for this population. Although it is well suited for anxiety, it's also appropriate for depression, which is common on college campuses. CBT is a blend of cognitive psychology and behavior therapy. It has been well documented as effective with a variety of disorders. CBT may have been successful here due to its structure. While psychotherapy would need a repeating hourly visit with a therapist, a college student would be more likely to be able to use a 20-minute time frame to watch a video which has a positive result. Importantly, cognitive behavioral therapy helps people to think about how their thoughts and their place in the world impact the way they feel. And that's from the nursing textbook. Those approaches of CBT are applied in many ways. Mindfulness, that's going to take a whole nother episode, was used as an example on how to emphasize how you feel with regard to your place in the world. The structured nature of modules also allows students to schedule the intervention to their day, providing organization. Goal setting was also used. Goal setting can actually have many benefits for students. It can help them when plotting timeline for term papers, study times for assessments, and looking towards the end of the semester final exams. Okay, so this was one of the result I found that worked. To have these 20-minute videos that a college student doesn't have to go to a counseling center, doesn't have to tell anybody they're watching it. And it has a positive effect. My statistics prove that out. I'll share that another time. A lot of people don't like statistics. I only like them when it helps you get your dissertation. So, what else was I going to say? Oh, this is what we did when our young people at home, my adult married children, we had a big blotter calendar, and everyone had a color. And everything was marked on the calendar, and it looked very colorful at the end of the month. I suggest this for any students that I've taught, okay? Instead of making the colors individuals, make them your subjects, your college courses. Plot out your tests and your final exam and your term papers and get the dates up on the calendar and make a plan. Not that you do it all in one day. Say you have a term paper, it's due in a month, okay? You're probably going to need a couple times, 2 or 3 times a week for that month to do a great job on it, all right? So you could add stickers, you could reward yourself like I do with students in elementary school. Whatever works, okay? So a lot of what I'm going to bring up over time are things that work. Thank you for anybody who persevered with the live streaming. You'll get this somehow. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.